Okay, my name is Greg McCoach. I'm editor of the Mining Speculator. We're here at the Metal Investors Forum in Vancouver, Canada. And I'm with, right now for this interview, Chris Taylor, President and CEO of Great Bear Resources.
Thanks,
Welcome
Greg.
to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, Chris, well, let's first talk about the conference, the excitement that's here. And we can see that after a tough 5-6 years in the exploration space, monies are flowing, things are happening, deals are getting done.
Yep.
And you've put together a very exciting deal. As soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to be involved. And so as of tomorrow night, I am writing it up and it is going out to all the Mining Speculator subscribers.
Thank you very much. It's much appreciated.
And I think it's a credit to you and your team. Oftentimes in this business, you have to be a contrarian. And you have to buy or acquire properties when nobody else wants them.
Yes.
And I think you made a very wise choice in getting the projects that you're working on, your flagship project in Red Lake, which is one of the most prolific high-grade gold areas in the world for making new discoveries. You have a project that isn't grassroots.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's already got drill holes, it's already got data. And for me, this is a no-brainer. It's a tight share structure with good management, good team, everything. Just all my boxes get checked off with this one right away.
Thank you.
And so I'm excited to recommend it and get going with it. And it's going to be a fun time in 2018. So why don't you take us through your flagship project, which is Dixie Lake?
Yeah.
And why don't you tell the listeners what's happening there and what you plan for this year?
Okay, well, thanks for the introduction, and I appreciate that. We picked up the project about 2 years ago, and that was what we would call probably the investment abyss for the resource industry, right? So my partner, Bob Singh, he's worked in Red Lake for nearly 20 years. So he's drilled projects from the west side all the way to the east side of it, and he knows what a good gold project in Red Lake looks like.
Right.
And my background is structural geology or controls, like what controls high-grade mineralization. My background is with a company called Imperial Metals, which has the big Red Chris deposit, the Mount Poly deposit, and the Sterling Gold deposit, which was just bought by my friend Mike Allen in Northern Empire, if everybody knows about that story.
Yeah.
So my background is more on the production side of things. Bob's is on exploration and Red Lake specifically. So we were looking for a project for Great Bear, which was effectively a shell company as these things become in the down times. And we were looking for something that had good historical drill data and the potential to go to a resource within a reasonable period of time. But really that combination of high grade, good access, low operational cost, and had to be in Red Lake. I've operated projects pretty much all over the world, to be frank, and you can look at drill costs that are several $100s to over $1,000 a meter for drilling. The project we have, our first drill program, came in at under $200 a meter all in. And that means that when we raise money for the company, it just goes into drilling. Basically, it goes into the ground. So this project had almost 100 it had just slightly over 150 drill holes in it when we got it, right? So it's not like you have to prove the concept that there's gold in the ground. We knew it.
We know it's there.
We knew it. We knew there was high grade results too. So our first drill program that we did last year was to show continuity, grade, and we had some ideas based on our background that what would control the mineralization and how it would be distributed. And the drill hole program that we did, the drill program, it proved that. So we were very pleased with that first set of drill results.
And there's a kind of a like company that's had success right next to you, and that's Pure Gold.
That's right, yeah.
And so why don't you talk about that? Because I think it's almost like a matching story, really.
Well, Pure Gold, I mean, we look to these guys as an example of where we'd like Great Bear to go in the not too distant future. And the project is similar geologically. Like you get these deep-seated structures that run through the project, and they're like heavily gold mineralized. And we have spoken with some of the people at Pure Gold that are in charge of the exploration program, and it's striking the similarities that we see between the Madsen project of theirs and our Dixie Lake project. And to the point where some land became available immediately adjacent to Madsen, and we picked that up.
Picked it up, I thought that was a great add-on there.
Thank you, and we thought so too. And that's earlier stage work, but we'll be prospecting that as well this summer.
And Pure Gold is, I think their resource calculation is at 2 million ounces, is that?
That's right, 2 million ounces.
So they're
2 million ounces at several grams. You know, and that goes right from surface down. I don't think they've delineated it fully.
Right.
Not even close yet. Right?
No, that's exciting. And they're at that mark where they're probably going to get a buyout offer, right? Because the majors are so desperate to replenish reserves in a good jurisdiction like Red Lake. I mean, that's an attractive buyout candidate.
I would think so. I'm not an expert on that particularly, but I would say like they had very aggressive drill campaigns, tens of thousands of meters of drilling, very good results. Their gram intercept results are pretty much like what we're generating at Dixie Lake as well. That's why we think there's a good parallel there that we can point people to.
Is the mineralization, does it go right to surface, or how deep, how shallow? You know, it kind of varies, I'm sure.
Well, no, actually, it remarkably kind of doesn't vary that much. So this is what we really like about it, right? Yeah, so the high grade goes right to surface. When I say high grade, we'll get intercepts. One of the ones that we published last year was over 10 meters of 16 grams per ton gold, right? And that was within 100 meters of the surface.
Wow.
But you see that kind of material going right up. It's been trenched historically, and right at surface. And then it goes down. It's been drilled as deep as 500 meters.
500, wow.
But the thing is with Red Lake, like think about the main Red Lake mine, their grade and thickness, it was getting better as it went down. So the highest grade mineralization was like 2.5 kilometers down, and you ended up with this like, it was all half-ounce plus material that they were multi-ounce material that they're getting there. So we kind of see the same thing. Grades and thicknesses do tend to increase as you're going down. That's something that over the long term, that could add really serious value to the project as well.
And you can start with open pit and do underground later.
Well, you basically have the ability on our project to get that grade right from surface.
Really?
So, and what we saw when we did work last year, we did I know I tend to ramble a little bit, so just bear with me. Sorry about that, Greg.
No, that's good.
But we did a high-resolution geophysical survey across about 23 to 25 kilometers of strike length on our main Dixie Lake project. It's a big property, right? 7,500 hectares, which for Red Lake, that's actually the same size as the entire main Red Lake mining district that we have at Dixie Lake. But there's a big structure that runs through that area, and the gold is in that structure. So what we see is where the gold is, we get this sort of magnetite destructive and this pattern of a change, a very tight change in the magnetic signature, and we see that again and again along the structure. So it defines additional targets we want to look at.
So yeah, there's blue sky potential on this project, not just in the current area of operation. So, hey everybody, I'm super excited. This exploration company is going to move to the top, near the top of my exploration list. So please pay attention.
And thanks, Greg.
Thanks for having you.
Yep. And if everybody could pay attention, we're drilling in about 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. So if you're going to get in, good time to buy some shares.
Thank you.